It's like, nah, you got it. Dolo. We do.
Come on, man. We back here. We back here. How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling good, man.
Man, I was about
Got
to
that
take a nap.
victory.
About to take that way.
Commander just got that victory. 12 games.
That was a dog fight.
Game shouldn't have been close, man. Nigga Jay Daniels was slumming it in the first quarter, throwing me off.
Y'all probably weren't showing none of y'all plays though.
Man, nigga Marcus Mariota like that.
What you guys think about the Patriots firing head coach Jerod Mayo, man?
I ain't gonna lie, even though he black, I support black coaches. That nigga deserve to get fired, man. That nigga's trash.
He only been there one season though. Why you feel that way?
I don't care. Nigga suck.
So he don't get years to rebuild like everybody else. He just won and done.
He was on the Bill Belichick for years. Should learn something.
Damn.
You feel like he had the team to do something with this year? He had the right pieces.
He should have been started Drake Mayo, Joe Milton instead of starting Jacoby Brissett. It's his fault. And he got fired. He got curried.
All right, Mo. What's your take on it, man?
Shit, I agree with Wayne. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, he had enough players to be okay. I ain't saying he's gonna go on a postseason run, but he had a tighter team, bro. You seen what they was doing against Buffalo, even though it's a division opponent.
I mean, they beat the Bengals. They should have rolled that momentum and played the guys that they supposed to play. They didn't.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying.
Bad coach.
If you want people to buy into what you got going on, you guys set an example. And I just think he ain't really set no example. We want people to buy into nothing. Yeah.
You know how it is, bro. If you black, you gotta be twice as good, bro. And you want twice as good, so you got fired. It is what it is.
I can respect that. Okay. It's tougher. Okay. How about the MVP race, man? Heating up.
It's over. That shit over.
Lamar Jackson need to be the MVP, but you know they gonna give a pity award to Josh Allen.
Pretty much. He ain't never had it, so we gotta give him one. We already felt this way since we
ain't got no real accolades, so they got to make the white quarterback have something. Joe Burrow ain't making the playoffs, so it is what it is.
I respect it.
Tell the truth.
I'm gonna be honest. This year, Lamar should win it. I give it to Lamar.
What? Nigga, what?
Oh, say it again.
You've been screaming Josh
Allen
months.
It's been recorded, right?
Yeah.
I've been screaming Josh Allen, but hats off, Lamar had a phenomenal year. 41 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. I want to say at least 700 on the ground, at least.
Yeah, 900.
900 on the ground.
That's crazy.
That award goes to him. He should get his third MVP. Josh Allen, even though he threw less picks this year, he didn't have that strong of a finish to beat Lamar out for the award. Maybe early on during the weeks, he did some special things, 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing in a single game, 6 total. But outside of that stat, he lost his last game of the year, and they even played them. I think he threw less than 30 touchdowns this year.
Nah, they ain't playing. He had literally one play.
Okay. But yeah, they're less than 30 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, this season. And when you battle a guy with 41 touchdowns, did the Ravens clinch their division as well?
Yep, they won the division.
Ravens won.
Burrow and the Steelers.
Yeah, he won his division. Yeah, he won his division. He has the numbers supported, 41 touchdowns, 4 NOs. That's phenomenal. QBR rating. This year alone, Lamar Jackson should definitely be the front runner MVP. Should get his third MVP. I will argue previous years. I ain't gonna say it was handed to him. I ain't gonna take it that far of a stretch, but I feel like it was a strong argument probably in one of his first 2 MVPs with comparison to Josh Allen. But this year, I say unanimous landslide. Lamar Jackson should get that award. Joe Burrow didn't make the playoffs.
He was 1 vote away last year from being unanimous.
Yeah, Joe Burrow didn't make the playoffs.
He should be. If he win this year, instead of 3-time, he should be 4-time. Keep it 100, but we ain't gonna get into all that.
Yeah, he had the best year by far for all quarterback play. No bias there for this year, not career-wise, just this year alone. Lamar should definitely be a unanimous MVP.
So you don't think 2019 he ain't deserve it? Unanimous?
Yeah, that was a great year for him. He had 36 touchdowns. I give him, he had a great year. Just Yeah, I'm not even gonna have to say nothing hating. Yeah, he should got it there. The second one, outside of him winning his division or whatever, I think there's an argument out there that someone else could have been in a close race than what it was. But yeah, I'll say that. But since we're on the topic of Lamar, as far as postseason, we know what he could do in the regular season. Should be third MVP. He has a 2-4 record in the postseason. He clinched the AFC. Well, not this year, before. What do you guys take? Do you guys feel like he's gonna have a stronger run this year? Is it we gonna get bounced again? What do you guys take? What does he need to do differently?
Lamar Jackson, right?
Lamar Jackson. We know what he's capable of in the regular season.
Well,
Year after year.
I don't.
Not? Why doesn't it transition in the postseason for him?
I'll let you go first, Maul. Go ahead.
All right, I think early on, bro, it was just a growth, bro. Early on, his fails against the Chargers, fails against the Titans, stuff like that. It was just growth. I think he the player that he is now, and he could definitely get it done. Only thing that's standing his way is Pat. I mean, it's just like it's just the Jordan era, bro. You're gonna have them great players, but you're gonna have the one that's just gonna prevent certain niggas in this conference from getting to the championship, let alone winning it. So I'm not saying he can never get one. I got Lamar might probably getting one, but niggas forget, like, just because you get it don't mean you won that shit. You still gotta win the game. So I feel like he doing everything right now, and I feel like he good enough now, got the team and everything enough now to win a ship. But the only thing that's gonna be in his way to do that is KC. It ain't gonna be Buffalo. It ain't gonna be no other team. It ain't gonna be the Chargers again. It ain't gonna be Pittsburgh. It ain't gonna be nobody. It ain't gonna be Denver. You see, he bust all these teams' ass in the conference, but KC is the team he had trouble with, rightfully so. And it's gonna be a heavyweight fight. I got to meet in the AFC Championship game, but I got Pat going back for a three-peat, and it just is what it is. But he might get one year. I'll just keep it 100.
Okay, so I want to backtrack on your statement as far as saying he was a young guy. We watched Mahomes do it as a young guy.
Different player, different
Lamar,
system.
hold on,
different system, bro.
No, hold on. We're talking about a guy who arguably right now is about to have more MVPs than Mahomes. So when you go and use he was young during the time. Mahomes was young when he won his. He won it earlier than Lamar. They both been there arguably the same time frame. Lamar's on his third MVP. He's always had a defense surrounding him. He always had some piece of offense, a solidified tight end, Mark Andrews, that came in with him. That's an all-pro. As Dwayne would say, he always had an all-pro tight end, and he always had, I would say, good enough running back to make it along. Mark Ingram. Right now, he has Derrick Henry. Well, we're not in the postseason now, so when you go into your argument, says he was young and had to get it out of the system. He wasn't too young to win MVP, so obviously he knew what he was doing.
Let me say this. I'm letting pass it to Dwayne. Everything he doing now in the last couple of years made up for the mistakes he made in the beginning of his career, bro. Or the angle statement say the mistakes he made up for the lack of success they had in the beginning of his career. For him to be about to be a three-time, should be four-time MVP, bro. I don't want to hear that shit respectfully. I just don't want to hear.
No, you keep on talking about regular season. I understand. I'm talking about postseason now. You keep saying.
I mean, he's a great player, bro, but he's going up against
MVP. We hear MVP.
He's going up against arguably the greatest of all time, so of course he's gonna fall up short.
And he get bounced by Mahomes every time he went to the playoffs.
Everybody get bounced by Mahomes. Burrow got bounced by Mahomes.
How many times has he faced Mahomes in the postseason? Once?
One time, yes.
Okay, he's been there 6 times. So how about the other 5 losses?
All right.
So you turn this into something else. Go ahead, Wayne.
It's not. I'm just asking you a serious question. You talking about Mahomes. Mahomes being the kryptonite to everybody, but we got 6 games he's played so far, and he's got bounced 4 out of them times outside of Mahomes.
I let Dwayne talk. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Wayne. I like to hear your Lamar, what he needs to do to get better.
So I say this. Postseason Lamar Jackson, yeah, he can play better. I'll give you that. Like in the playoffs. But if you go back and let me ask you this before I get into it. Have you watched all of his playoff games?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. I can tell you haven't. That's why you're laughing. You haven't watched all the playoff games. So I'll go through each playoff game and I'll tell you why his record is what it is. So if you go back to his rookie year when he played against the Chargers, he was a rookie going to play in an away game against Phillip Rivers in the Chargers that year. He didn't start that entire season. He came in towards the back end of the season, led them to the playoffs, went 7-1 going into the playoffs that year. So he was inexperienced. The following year, when they played against the Titans, when he won the MVP and had a unanimous MVP, and they had the number 1 seed, he put up the most yardage in playoff history in a single game. Meanwhile, his receivers had the most drops in that game. They had like 10 drops, and he still put up over 500 yards. So it's not that he doesn't play good; it's the fact that everybody else just don't bring it the way that he's bringing it during the playoffs. Like the team, like you you know how Pat plays good, and like the rest of the team elevates themselves to play at his level.
Mm-hmm.
That Titans lost, that team didn't do that. Same way against the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship game. The rest of the team didn't do that. Zay Flowers fumbles at the goal line. Me and Maul was at that game. That game could have went completely different if Zay Flowers didn't fumble at the goal line. The score would have been what 17 to
I think 10
14
or
or something like that.
14, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 17-14 with a 3-point swing, and we might be having a different conversation right now. So you can't just say, "Oh yeah, Lamar Jackson just doesn't play good in the playoffs." Like if you haven't watched none of those games, you can't have that bias without realizing the fact that yeah, he put up over 500 yards his second year in the league, which is arguably the most productive playoff game that a quarterback has had, even while his receivers dropped almost 10 passes that game.
Okay. So I'm with you on that. So here's my
So I
take.
think with Lamar going into this season, I mean to this postseason this year, he don't have to do anything different. I mean, he's playing probably the best ball he's played in his career. He just got to keep playing the way that he's playing and don't deviate away from what got them there. And that goes along with that coaching staff too. I mean, they ran the ball 6 times last year in the AFC Championship game, and the game before that against the Texans he had 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, two rushing, and they played the way that they played all year, and they dominated that game. So it's not just Lamar Jackson not playing good; it's the fact that like it's a whole bunch of reasons. To my point that I'll be telling you, like when the Ravens lose, like earlier this year, some of their 5 losses came from bad coaching and missed kicks. The same way they lost against the Bills, Justin Tucker in the playoffs missed 2 back-to-back kicks, which would have won them the game against the Bills. So it's not just him playing bad; it's the fact that like the rest of the team don't elevate their level of gameplay during the playoffs. So I think it'll be different this year, especially with they got Derrick Henry at the helm too. So it's just a matter of just them going out and playing the way that they've been playing, and I think he'll be okay.
So let me ask you, would like your take in regards to the level of play. Do you ever feel that Lamar sometimes be in his head when he has plays where he can just take off and use his God-given ability as running, but he want to show that he can throw the ball or feel like he has something to prove? Do you feel like he's still in that part of his career in his mind going into this postseason in regards to if the lanes are open, is he going to take them if they do lose and not taking those lanes?
I
Is
don't,
it
I don't,
being more
I
so
don't
in
think
his
that
head
that's,
or
I don't think that that's a realistic take because you saying like he didn't take lanes last year, and against the Texans, they think he had like he had like 100 yards rushing and over 100 yards passing. So it's not that he doesn't do that. It's just the way that the game went. Like I think that entire Ravens team panicked against the Chiefs. Like, all right, we gotta be in a shootout when they really didn't need to do that. They just should have just stuck to their game plan. And they would have been okay. So I don't think that he like subconsciously like us on the outside looking in. We probably look at the game and the way that the game flow goes and be like, all right, yeah, Lamar Jackson could have took off, but him buying his guys more time, like you got to think like if he's taking off and scrambling every single time that there's an open lane, that messes with his throwing mechanics too, and then he might miss a throw later on in the game because he's so focused on taking off and running, and that messes with his timing and his mechanics. So it just goes with the flow of the game. Like you gotta like for him, I think it's just a matter of like giving what the defense taking what the defense gives you. Like if there's lanes to be taken, like take it, but like don't be doing that every single play because like him extending the play and getting guys open, that's going to open up the field much more than it is him just taking off and running, in my opinion, at least.
all right, so here's my last take I want from both of you guys. Your final response on this Lamar topic. Does he have an excuse this year? Front runner to be unanimous MVP, third time, 7 years on his belt. There's other quarterbacks that got Super Bowls out there and made Super Bowl appearances. If they were to get bounced anywhere in the postseason before the Super Bowl, is their excuse? We got a Hall of Fame running back. He has pieces on both sides. Marlon Humphrey, Cal. You got the most Pro Bowlers this year voted on the team. Is there excuse? I want to know that. Do you guys got any excuse for
I mean,
Lamar?
no, I don't think no quarterback that's in the playoffs has an excuse. But I mean, if you go look at this year, like what that team, like that adversity that team went through, like they had the worst passing defense in the league up until 3-4 weeks ago. So it's not. I don't look at it like if they go into the playoffs and lose, like yeah, he had an excuse. I don't think no quarterback that makes it to the playoffs has an excuse. They just need to go out and do what they've been doing, and they'll be okay.
How about you, Jamal? What's your take?
Same thing, bro. It's not an excuse, bro. Like, how can you go to the playoffs and lose and say it's an excuse, bro? Like, I feel like what you asked me goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. The nigga's great, bro. He found out how to do it, whether it's legs or his arms in any other game. Only game that come down to shit just not working out is against Kansas City because it's two heavyweight fights. It's not taking nothing away from Baltimore. It's just a more challenging game. It's a coach that's better than your coach. It's a quarterback that's arguably better than your quarterback. Is better than your quarterback. So it's like it's levels. But not on, and to go back to one thing you said when you was like, you think he's still in that phase of his career, I think that's fucked up because a lot of people said he couldn't throw the ball. So when he starts sitting in the pocket throwing the ball, niggas saying he need to run. So he can't go out there please nobody, but all he gotta do is go out there and be the
Yeah,
player
he just
he
got
is. Yeah,
players
because it's
like you
messed up.
like for instance, like Tomorrow's point, like you saying like, oh yeah, he needs to take off and run more. Like he really don't need to do that unless like it's just wide open lanes. Like he's passing the ball better than all the quote unquote passing quarterbacks that people try to say that's better than him. Like only person that probably done threw the ball better than him this year is Joe Burrow, and the only reason I say this because he got more passing attempts. So of course he's gonna have more yardage and more touchdowns because he's throwing the ball more. But outside of that, ain't nobody else that's throwing the football better than Lamar Jackson at this point in his career. Like it's just not. So I mean, he's passing the football better than anybody that you could throw out there. So I think that point, Josh, is null and void in my opinion.
Okay, and I'm gonna close on my remark. I feel Lamar is a phenomenal quarterback with going on to his third MVP. I have no cut cost for Lamar Jackson going into this postseason. I expect him to get the job done. I expect him to win a Super Bowl. He has everything that you guys are saying is God-given ability. He has the arm. He has the QBR. He has the team. He has the coaching. He's always in a big race. I think it's about time that we finally see that rock or that stone turn over where he makes it to a Super Bowl. I mean, Joe Burrow done it. He took out Mahomes. So I need Lamar to do it. I love his regular season. It's eye-catching, eye-candy. It's great play. I love how he plays his game. But a 2-4 record in the postseason, I'm ready to see him get it done. I'm going into next year, I want to be having a conversation about him winning another MVP, but he not winning in the postseason. So I think it's about now time. Mahomes been in 7 years, got three. Lamar, even if he don't win one, I need to at least see him go to one. I mean, three
Do you,
MVP.
you got the same?
He should have
You,
once at least a Super Bowl appearance with three MVPs.
do you got that same sentiment for Josh Allen? And you think
Uh,
Since you think Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson?
Josh Allen postseason, I feel is postseason Josh Allen. I feel like he does everything right. He has one of the highest QBR in NFL history for postseason play. If you want to look that up, he does. You give me that look, you can look it up. You can look it up. So I
What
mean,
has he
hold
done?
on, hold on. And my take on Josh Allen, he done everything right in the sense of the postseason. The 5-5 record to Lamar's 2-4. The only reason, and it's not Josh Allen, it's a team award, a team game. It was 13 seconds in the AFC Championship game where they lost to the Chiefs. Outside of that, hats off, Josh Allen did everything that he could do. He couldn't get stepped back on the field after them 13
What
seconds.
happened when he played in
Hold on,
Cincinnati?
hold on.
My
When
bad.
cut me off during my take. So he did everything that he was supposed to do. And with those 13 seconds, the Magic Mahomes, the great player he is, he sent the Bills defense on their way, and that's why Josh Allen didn't appear in the Super Bowl. But if you're talking about down for down, play for play, staying grinding, being in them tough games, I watch him get it done all the time. So if we could take, like you said, Lamar Jackson had the Zay Flower fumble and all that stuff, we could be having a different argument. I'm saying the same thing with a Super Bowl appearance with Josh Allen if the Chiefs don't score in 13 seconds. So that's my take on Josh Allen. I mean, we both see them both in the postseason. We both see how they play. So we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see.
Can I say one thing?
I'm gonna say, but yeah, go ahead.
What? So we just automatically just erasing the existence of when the Buffalo played Cincinnati and Burrow got his ass and on his home turf. We just act like that never happened, right?
No, we're not gonna let that happen. With the same year he got barely.
And he played like shit that game.
He got Mahomes' ass too that year too, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
he didn't. No, he didn't. Mahomes got his ass in the AFC Championship game on a high ankle sprain. That was the same year. Because the same year we beat him with the 13 seconds, we lost the next round to Cincinnati. So don't cap. No cap.
All right.
He got sent home on his home turf by Burrow, and a few years later, he got sent home on his home turf by Pet. So how are we talking about this nigga anything?
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. Who did Burrow go through the year he went to the Super Bowl?
He went through Mahomes. They ain't play Cincy. They ain't play Cincy that round.
They beat the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was hurt that year.
Uh-huh.
Who was a divisional game? I mean,
who else did they play? I want to say it was the Raiders. It was the Raiders that year.
It was the Raiders. It was the
Raiders.
It was Raiders.
It was Raiders, Ravens, and Chiefs.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Raiders. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. With Joe Burrow's play, like that year he went to the playoffs. He didn't play good that playoff stretch. He really didn't. That defense carried them to the Super Bowl that year.
Facts. But team sport, give him all the credit in the world.
And then the Chiefs had a coach. Like the Chiefs, Andy Reid and the Chiefs, they screwed that game up. The Bengals wasn't supposed to win that game at AFC Championship. Andy Reid called a bad game and gave them a win. Like Chiefs was legit supposed to go to the Super Bowl and play the Rams that year. Losing counts for anything, then by all means go for it. But
how are you feeling about the playoffs? Do we got games set in stone? I know we got the Eagles and the Packers set in stone. I like the Eagles for that game. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I like Philly, their defense. I like giving them trouble.
I haven't got the chance to look at
Jordan Love today.
You say he got what?
Got hurt today. He got hurt.
What's wrong with him?
Hurt his arm, throwing arm.
Yeah, they done. They might be done.
I mean, Malik Willis, he done stepped in for them a few times this year and got wins for him, but I just think Philly gonna be too much for him to step in and try and get a win. I mean, I'm not gonna go against him and say like he couldn't pull out a win, but I just think
I don't see it happening. Y'all, it look like y'all playing the Rams, right?
Yeah, it looked like we're gonna end up be playing the Rams. I think we can get the Rams though.
I like y'all beating the Rams.
The game to watch tonight though is Detroit versus Minnesota. I think if Minnesota win, they get the number 1 seed. Detroit might lose to the Bucks. They lost to them earlier this year. I think they're gonna get them. They got a chance of getting them again.
Minnesota gonna be tough to beat, especially like they got a. People don't talk about this enough. They got a slight home field advantage. Like they stadium, they got a good fan base. So like playing it ain't all sweet. And if I'm not mistaken, they got a dome, right? I don't. The way connection tripping.
It's a tough outing for anybody though.
Yeah, so I like Minnesota to make something shake.
I like Minnesota tonight, but don't sleep on Jerod Goff. I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think he's one of the only few quarterbacks who got drafted in the first round, first pick in the Super Bowl. Don't like how the Rams did him. They released him after that Super Bowl appearance, but I think he got a chip on his shoulder to get back to the big show. So I like Detroit tonight for the win.
Okay.
So, Lamar, what's your take on Jamar Chase Triple Crown?
I ain't surprised, bro. I ain't surprised.
Touchdowns. Is it
well deserved, bro? Them LSU niggas, young niggas, they do what they do. I ain't surprised at all. I'm not even slightest surprised. Nigga like that, bro. I mean,
is he better than Justin Jefferson? That's the big conversation.
No. I'm not saying Justin Jefferson is way better than him or nothing like that, but overall receiver, no. You got eyes, you could tell that. Justin Jefferson got the route run, he got the height. You could throw any ball, any weight to this nigga, and he got a chance of catching it. I'm not saying Jamar Chase can't, but everybody knows Jamar Chase is a fade back shoulder guy. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? He make a break off one for 60, 70. He got speed too. Good wide receiver, but Jett is the whole package. Jett is the whole package, bro. That's all. No.
So where's Jamar Chase on your list? Active right now, currently.
Active? I'm not overall. Just right this year type shit.
No,
You saying overall, like in the league?
I'm gonna say last
5 years.
5 years. Where you ranking? Last three.
Last 3 years. 5.
5. That's pretty low for the
Jay
top.
Jettas 1, Tyreek Hill 2.
Hold on. Even though Tyreek not having the greatest season this year.
Last 3 years, Tyreek Hill. I don't care nothing about. Okay, no, I talking about.
Okay.
Jay Jettas 1, Tyreek Hill 2, Devontae Adams 3.
You think Devontae Adams still got it?
Yeah, bro. I mean, he just make bad decisions in terms of who he choose to play.
Okay.
For
I got a different list.
I probably get Jettas 4. I mean, I probably get Chase 4.
Okay.
And 5. I don't really know. So he is swing between 4 and 5 in my list.
Okay, so here's my list. I'm gonna go Jettas 1. I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill 2. He a dog. I think he don't get spoken about enough. When we put Devontae Adams at that 3, I'm gonna go Mike Evans at 3. I think
I can't get mad at that.
I'm saying 11 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. He's a go-to guy. Teams double him. He always find a way to get open. He always find a way to get yards. I think he slept on because he flying the radar a little bit, but with not having 1,700 yards or 1,800 yards. But consistency for that long in that period of time shows how great he is. So I'm gonna go Mike Evans 3, 4. That's a lot of guys. Me personally, last 3, give me Diggs at 4. I like Stephon Diggs at 4. And then no, give me Jamar Chase at 4 and give me Diggs at 5. So I'm gonna go. Where I go? I went Jettas, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Jamar Chase, and Diggs at 5. That'd be my 5 for the last 3 years.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yep.
Do y'all think Joe Burrow would be having statistically the season he's having if he didn't have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
Hell no. I mean, everybody know that. Absolutely not. But still gotta give him a little bit of credit for doing what he was doing, even though they ain't making the playoffs for the second straight year.
I'm not gonna say he's not going to probably have the yards he had because Jamar Chase is one of them guys. But as far as productivity, I think he'll still be up there. When you look at LSU quarterbacks recently, even Jaden Daniels, outside of Terry, he has no one he's throwing to, and he's productive. I think Joe Burrow will still be productive, but as far as the numbers he's been putting up with that number one guy he got, probably not. But I think he'll still have solid numbers. I just think he'll still be pretty good.
Can we talk about why Joe Burrow and the Bengals didn't make the playoffs though?
Defense. Giving up a lot.
No, I'm not gonna say it was all defense.
I mean, they all offense one perfect now.
I know football comes down to moments. It comes down to certain plays, but when your defense is allowing 30-plus points in every game you look, I think, if I'm not mistaken, statistically, they showed the stat not too long ago that the Bengals had the most 30-point game losses in NFL history when their offense have put over 30 points and lost this year. So when you look at that stat alone, I can't.
Don't give context though. Don't give context though, because some of those games Joe Burrow lost in the game. Specifically when he played us, the Commanders, and he didn't convert in the red zone. He ended up not scoring, and then we went down the field and drove the ball and scored. Joe Burrow's the reason why he lost that game, and the 2 games against the Ravens, where he turned the ball over in the fourth quarter. So you can't just blame it all on the defense. He's part of the reason why the record is what it is. But then again, Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson both outshined Joe Burrow those 3 games too. So,
I mean, I'm looking at it now. When we played the Bengals, we won 38-33. So it's not like that defense ain't played good. We put up 38 points with a rookie quarterback, in the first 3 games of his career?
It's the defense, bro, but it was the inconsistency of the play of the
30-33
team, too.
Joe Burrow caused them a few games this year, bro.
They won.
Lost 38-41.
Putting up crazy stats. He's caused them some games this year.
But let me tell you, though. 38-41 to the Ravens. Where's another tough one? 38-44 to the Bengals. 34-35 to the Ravens again. The Chiefs, that was a close. That's always a good game.
Did you watch those Ravens games though? Joe Burrow.
Well, I know it came down to a field goal being missed. I know I seen one of them games, and then Derrick
Joe
Henry.
Burrow turned the ball over both of those games when it was crunch time.
Yeah. But they got a lot of
I
games.
just thought on their defense, though. I mean, it's like you can't
They
sit
still won
there.
10 games. I put it that way. They got 8 losses, but them 30-point games, like 4 or 5 of them, I'm gonna say if they could get 1 or 2 of those games out of like the 4 games they put up 30 plus points, I think we could look at easily a 10-7 Bengals team. They play good enough to be 10-7.
They're 10-7 right now, ain't they? No, they 9-8, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, one more game. At least one of those games out of the 4. We could be looking at a 10-7 game.
They got swept by Baltimore. If they wouldn't have got swept by Baltimore or won at least one of those games, they legit would be in the playoffs right now. But you got MV3 over there balling out against Joe Burrow.
So just to put a little bit of context of what we're looking at for next week, we're looking at, for everything stay the same right now, these 4 o'clock games besides the night game. We're looking at the Chargers going to Houston to face the Texans. We're looking at Pittsburgh traveling to Baltimore for another match of them. Either Detroit or Minnesota, based on who will win tonight, going to travel to Tampa Bay. And like we talked about, Washington is traveling to LA. So we got a mid first round.
Oh, the Steelers might have to play
the Ravens. They're going to play the Ravens. Yeah.
Oh, because the Chargers won today. Well,
they pretty much about to wrap this game up. So
I mean, game ain't over yet. The Raiders look like they're in the red zone right now. So
that's gonna be a good game. If that does
fall.
And
then you gotta forget Zay Flowers might be out. So depending on how injured he is.
Steelers just don't do enough on offense to win a playoff. At least in my opinion, I don't think they doing enough on offense to win a playoff. The defense is going to keep them in games, but that offense, though, like, I don't know. They're going to have to be able to do something or make a change at the quarterback spot. I think they might need to get that offensive spark and put Justin Fields back in there.
I agree. I definitely agree. Because Russ will be looking like, man, even yesterday, I was like, man, he gonna finally lose this damn game. That's exactly what he did. I'm like, come on, cuz.
You realize he could have ran out of bounds. You realize go try to go ahead.
Yeah, what are you doing, dog? Like,
clock, like, bro, you doing, bro?
Any closing remarks from y'all? We got about 2 minutes to wrap this up. Josh, I know you always got a lot to say, so I don't know where you went, but what about you, Wayne? Oh, there you go.
You guys feel about Terry getting the franchise record with 13 touchdowns and the closing the Skins winning 12 games?
I'm not surprised, man. He finally got a quarterback that could get him the football, so it was bound to happen. It just took us 6-7 years for it to happen. So I ain't surprised. He a dog, top 10 receiver in the league. It's well deserved.
I agree, 100%. Scary Terry. It's be a good matchup next week, though. That's me. That's me a good game. You got about a minute, Josh. What you? Come on, man. I know you got some notes.
I like us over the Rams next week. Like the Eagles over Green Bay. If Detroit go to Tampa, I like Tampa getting that win. If Minnesota go to Tampa though, Minnesota getting that win over the Bucks. I think Denver could give the Bills problems. That defense gonna come to play. That defense could travel. It's gonna be a toss-up game. I don't like the Bills defense, so I don't know. They might be looking at a first round exit unless Josh Allen goes Superman on the Broncos, which it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for him to do that, especially with that offense that he got. Outside of James Cook, if they could run the ball, they could get a win.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Denver sleeper. That's a sleeper victory next week, maybe.
Yeah, if Denver got to play the Chiefs or Baltimore, then I think they're gonna lose. But I ain't gonna count Josh Allen and the Bills out. But I think that's gonna be a tough day at the office for them if they got to play Denver.
100%. You got less than a minute, probably less than that. Josh, if you got anything you want to say.